Hi ho, Cool Dude Reviews here, and today we're going to be reviewing the Quasimodo SDCC, or San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So let's get right into the review. Now before I, go over the figure and the paint job and all that stuff, I just have to apologize. I haven't been posting for a while, which is kind of a shame. I should be posting more, I know, but it's just been a very busy couple of months, so yeah. But I'm back, and I'll be able to begin reviewing Funko Pops again. So, now let's really go right into the review. So, first off, when I saw that they were making Quasimodo from Hunchback Notre Dame as a Funko Pop, I kind of freaked out, because I love Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's one of my favorite Disney movies. It's very underrated, and I didn't think they're gonna make any Funko Pops ever, because it's kind of obscure. But they did, and I'm very, very happy that they did. I wonder if they'll make a whole set? I hope so, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So, this is the figure. He looks great. He should be shorter, is one thing I noticed, because if I grab a regular Funko Pop, give me 1 minute. See, if I grab like a regular Funko Pop, like Newt Scamander, Quasimodo should be a bit shorter than him. I mean, he is a bit shorter than Newt Scamander, but compared to characters like Jonathan from Stranger Things and Joyce, also from Stranger Things, he is about the same size as them. Which, Quasimodo is the Hunchback of Notre Dame, not the straight standing person of Notre Dame, so he should be a little bit shorter, but it would have been hard to fit all of the detail in his figure into a shorter Funko Pop. So the Funko Pop himself and his sculpt and everything appears to be simplistic, but is actually quite detailed, quite well detailed. So of course his face, he's got this big sculpted nose, which I really like. I like the way that it's sculpted and it protrudes outwards. He's got a spot over his right eye, or I guess left eye. It's sculpted, his actual deformity, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but I mean, and then his the way that his mouth is, the dimples, the big dimples, his whole mouth is completely sculpted. I really like the buck teeth and the sculpted in smile, and they also glossed over it, so it looks like, it looks like a mouth, which is pretty nice detailing. He's got bigger ears like he does in the movies, and he's got, now let me say, this is one of the best hair sculpts on a Funko Pop. Out of my whole collection, this is probably my favorite hair sculpt. It's just, I don't know what about it. It's just very well done. Of course, his trademark strands coming out on the top of his head. The way that his hair parts in the center is very well sculpted, and then you can see all the hair things. I can't really call them strands because that's not really how they're sculpted. All the hair bunches are at different lengths to make it look like he doesn't keep his hair up very well, because he wouldn't, because he's living in a tower in Notre Dame, which rip Notre Dame. This Funko Pop seems somewhat inappropriate to come out like a year, less than a year, like a couple months after Notre Dame did its thing, after somebody did a thing to Notre Dame. but I mean, you know, maybe you could think of it as honoring Notre Dame, because this movie is pretty cool with all of its shots of Notre Dame. So, you know, but back to the thing, his hair is unkept because he's locked up in the Tower of Notre Dame in the movie. So the way that it's all different lengths and stuff is very, very good detailing. His body is actually a reference to the Guy Like You song in the movie, and it actually takes from a specific shot at the end of the song where one of the gargoyles jumps up into his arm and he's holding the little card. Now, I don't love the gargoyles, the main three, the like goofy gargoyles, but gargoyles play a large part in the Hunchback of Notre Dame and Notre Dame's architecture and like the visual style of Hunchback of Notre Dame. So it makes sense to have a little gargoyle on his arm. They're just kind of annoying in the movie. I mean, the movie's awesome besides, you know, the gargoyles. I'm not gonna get into a review of the movie right now, but, you know, I'm not sure what else they would have put in his hands. Like, maybe the little figurines that he builds, like a little Esmeralda figurine would have been cool, and a Quasimodo one, maybe. I don't know, that would have been cool. I would have preferred that, but, I do like the card, which is kind of the Ace of Hearts card is kind of the thing that represents his love for Esmeralda in the movie. So that's nice. The card is printed on and sculpted pretty well. The gargoyle looks cute enough. It's a little too small for the scene that it's referencing. Gargoyles are would be like this big, not that big, but I understand why they made it smaller, so that it could actually fit in his arms without, you know, bumping against his head. But, you know, it would have been cooler if it was bigger to be more accurate to the scene. But yeah, you see the nose of the gargoyle and the little horns, and it matches the actual style of the specific gargoyle that's supposed to be in his hands. His outfit, I think, is really unique to Funko Pops. Most of them, well, I mean, I was about to say most of them are most Funko Pops outfits are in a certain style, but they aren't. There's very, very variety of different styles, but this is a unique like medieval peasant, which I haven't really seen done on any other Funko Pops. Like maybe Peter Pan, technically, but it doesn't have the same feel as Quasimodo's outfit. So I like the way that they did his boots with the folded piece on the top, and then I like how his legs bend at the knees and then go into his little tunic. His tunic looks pretty great. I like the separation between this part of the tunic and this like skirt part of the tunic, for lack of a better term. If you look very closely, you can see the ruffles in the tunic, which I always like. That's a really, really small detail to put into any Funko Pop, any clothing piece, but it really makes it look like clothing. You can see it also here on his skirt. And then, of course, he has his signature hunchback. It's a little less pronounced than in the movie because of his giant Funko Pop head, but, you know, it's still there, which is nice that they were able to include that as part of his design. I like the way that he actually holds the gargoyle, the way his arms are sculpted, and then they got his hair on his arms decaled on there, which is nice. And then there's actually, you can see his neck that attaches to the rest of the head, and then you can see a separation between his neck and his shirt. That's this like really forest green color. It's a really nice detail. You wouldn't really notice it if they painted over it. I mean, I would, because I specifically looked for it when I got this Funko Pop, and sure enough, there it was. And it's fully painted, I believe. The whole shirt ruffle is fully painted, which is a really nice detail. Anyway, that's Quasimodo. If I had to give this Funko Pop a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give him a solid 9 out of 10. There's no huge glaring paint issues. The sculpt is really solid. It's automatically recognizable as Quasimodo, and he fits in with the Funko Pop collection very well, and he stands out in the Funko Pop collection due to his facial expression and that his whole face is sculpted, which is not something you see on many human Funko Pops. So it's really cool, and I'm really glad that it made Quasimodo into a Funko Pop. So if you enjoyed the video, a like would be greatly appreciated. Take your big toe and put your entire foot over your mouse, scroll over to the like button, and click with that big toe. Don't double click because that'll unsubscribe, but just click once with your big toe. The subscribe button, and then you scroll over, and then you wanna karate chop the mouse. You want to scroll to the bell icon and karate chop your mouse. And I'll see you guys in the next video, and hopefully it'll be a little bit more, the schedule will be a little bit more, regular. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Toodles!